And I think we're live. Hey, good evening and welcome to the Folknet Spring Concert Series. My name is Charlie Mossbrook. I am the president of Folknet. Thank you for joining us again this month. This is May, and our concert this evening features Bing Futhch, who is an amazing, wonderful dulcimer player and just a terrific instrumentalist. And I think you're really going to enjoy this. I know I found him on YouTube one day, and I talked to our dulcimer expert, Bill Schilling, and said, "Can we bring Bing in?" He said, "Let's talk to him. I know him." I'm very excited about this. We also have Gretchen Pleuss, who is a Northeast Ohioan who has been transplanted up north in that city up north, and Ann Arbor is what we call that one. We're not really football fans, so we don't have to abide by those state rules. Anyway, next month we're going to feature Tom Castle, who's going to do some nautical music for you. If you like the sea shanties that have been going around this spring, Tom is going to be a wonderful concert for you, so please keep that in mind. That'll be June, what is that? I need to write this stuff down. June 12th. I do have it all written down, but I have to access it in my computer. And opening for him will be Sam Hooper, a Cleveland area blues guitarist, and we're looking forward to that. So please join us on June 12th for Tom Castle and Sam Hooper. As always, please visit us at folknet.org, where you can become a member of Folknet and help support this kind of programming on all the other stuff that we do year-round. We have done our best to try to keep going through the entire pandemic, and success so far. So thank you for joining us and being a part of this with us and helping us to keep folk music alive. And for me, folk music has kept me alive. So I thank you all. Anyway, we're going to hand the stage over for a few minutes, for about 15 minutes, to Gretchen. So please welcome Gretchen Pleuss. Here she is. And I'm going to remove Bing and myself. There we go.
Hey, thanks so much, guys, for having me. I was having some technological difficulties, but I'm sure we're all very used to those at this point in the pandemic. So I appreciate everyone's patience, aka Charlie's. So yeah, I'm just going to play a couple songs. The first one I'm going to play is actually one that I hope to release sometime this year. I've recorded it and I've been sitting on it. So this one's called You're Free. I've shared beds with men who kept me in their heads for longer than what was promised. And I've searched for myself in the arms of someone else when I couldn't find my own solace. I wrote along in the underbelly of a song on the backs of my many metaphors. And I've wasted time as arduous as state lines, always longing for something more. It was you. It's always been you, not someone new. It's always been you. You hardly have to call or dote on me at all. I can keep myself occupied. I'll navigate my brain like a derailed freight train. They're all that put together inside. They'll say she's so serene, like a forest shade of green. She's as soft as she is sweet. Maybe she can wake me, or maybe undertake me to hell or heaven sitting at her feet. But I want you. I only want you, not someone new. I only want away or choose to stay, but don't do it for me. I can wait, you're not too late, you're where you need to be. You're free. You've always been free, and you have me. You've always had me. You're free. You've always been free, and you have me. You've always had me. You have me. So yeah, that's a, I keep saying newer, but it's not necessarily new. Maybe new to you. But I hope to have it out sometime this year. We'll see. I've been sitting on lots of things. I feel like last year a lot of things were put on hold for everybody. So maybe things will get moving again. But yeah, I moved up to Ann Arbor last year. Still getting to know the area. And if you ever have any good recommendations, let me know. But I do hope to, at some point be playing in person again live, back in Ohio when the time's right. So I really appreciate Folknet having me tonight and Bing, and I'm really excited for the rest of the set. So I'm going to play actually a song called One for All, which is on the album I put out in 2019. It's actually the last track on it. And this one was inspired by our state of affairs in, especially in the United States, with regard to just our inability to really stand in another person's shoes. So this one deals with a little bit of oppression and history in America. Everybody's got lead and steel, but God forbid you behind the wheel. If your skin is brown as cedar grain, if the courts mispronounce your name, you can work in a grocery store to pay for college. You can go to war. We'll throw you parties when you get back home. And 5 years later say the war was wrong. That's the way that it's always been done. They're singing one for all and all for one, to drown the sound of you saying I can't breathe. There's no justice in reprieve. One man acquitted and one to grieve. Were you born on infertile land, where once a village now a casino stands? They scoff at the whiskey on your breath, your minor infractions and petty theft. Remember when they put your parents there, gave them Bibles and cut their hair? You've seen the unmarked graves that wounded me. You're not in prison, but you still aren't free. And that's the way that it's always been done. They're singing one for all and all for one, to drown the sound of you singing when he waits Shawnee. They'll put the pipeline where they please. The eagle is screeching in the east. have been born in a trailer park. I may have been poor, but I was never dark. So how can I sing for someone I never knew? I would hope that he'd sing for me too. What good's a voice if you don't use it? What good is progress if you refuse it? What makes you think that we're so different? But you can't relate 'cause you've never lived it. That's the way that it's always been done. They're singing one for all and all for one, to drown the sound of you saying I'm still here. My skin is black as yours is fair. I never recited the Lord's Prayer, but I'm not going anywhere. So yeah, that one's called One for All, and that's on my album Daughter of the Broader Skies, which if you like it, you can find it on streaming services. So I've got one more song, and again, thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Bing. Thank you, everybody, for listening on Folknet. I think it's going to be a great show. So I'm going to play one more song off of my album, Daughter of the Broader Skies, and this one's called Everybody's Pretty. And it's basically about feeling lonely in a sea of people. I take the F train from Harlem to Queens, 3 days in the same hat and jeans. Walk in a cafe and order some eggs. Notice the stranger staring at my legs. He says I'm unlike anyone he's known before. I'm equal parts love and war. Well, I'm not a concept, or so says Kate. There's parts of me learn to hate. There's parts of me I already hate. And though I hold him, I already let him go. The one I love is still in Ohio. But freedom is lonely, and so is the city where everybody's lonely, 'cause everybody's pretty. Down in the village, a man admires my fingers. He jokes he often falls for folk singers who say something profound and bring people together. But I just wanna bitch about the weather. With a man I met in Montauk and his wife from Germany, I think of the kind of wife that I would be. Always leaving and returning, but never being fully there. Acting cold and unforgiving even when I care. Especially when I care. Everybody's lonely 'cause everybody's pretty. Everybody's pretty. When I get to the station, I'll be reflecting on my week. Wonder what it is I seek. I'm not sure if it's God, I'm not sure if it's money, or reciprocation from a man who doesn't want me. I guess that's why I travel, I guess that's why I'm running. I can't be hounded when I'm hunting. And I like the way I feel when my hair and face are gritty. I'm the last girl on earth you would pity. I never asked for your pity. And if I held him, I'd just as soon let him go. What I love is still in Ohio. Freedom is lonely, and so is this city where everybody's lonely 'cause everybody's pretty. Everybody's pretty. Everybody's pretty. Everybody's pretty. Thank you all so much for having me.
Can I bring you back in, Bing? There we go. I just want to give you a warning.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Hey, that's Gretchen Pleuss. Pleuss. Do I say that correctly? Pleuss?
You would think that's correct, but apparently, according to my dad, it's Pleuss.
It's Pleuss. Okay, well, that's Gretchen Pleuss. When you clap out your window, make sure you're face north. That's where she's living. So you got to clap loud. But thank you much. That was beautiful. What a wonderful bunch of songs you have.
Thank you so much, you guys.
I'd been trying to work with Gretchen for a number of years, and it wasn't until we were no longer allowed to be around each other that we've worked together a few times. So I'm glad that we're getting to this point, and eventually we will meet each other in person. It will be great. Well, thank you, Gretchen. Hey, real quickly, let me give you an idea of who Folknet is. If you're first joining Folknet for the first time, we are Northeast Ohio's traditional folk music and dance society. And we have been putting out these concerts for about 4 or 5 years now. And we've been supported in part by Cuyahoga Arts and Culture. And they've been helping us to bring in some really good, exciting concerts that we've been feeling really good about. So thank you to Cuyahoga Arts and Culture. Please check out their website and check out all the other things that different organizations throughout our community are presenting in the arts and culture throughout Northeast Ohio, mostly in Cuyahoga County. Folknet is member supported, so if you are interested in supporting what we do, become a member. You can go to folknet.org and look for the membership page, and it's as easy as clicking on your PayPal. And I did it just this month. I re-upped our family membership for my wife, my cat, and myself, and we are current members now. Anyways, next up this evening, we have a wonderful concert planned for you. We have Bing Futhch. He is a well-known dulcimer player around the world. I first discovered him for myself when I got a new dulcimer, and I wanted to know how to. It's an intuitive instrument, but I knew there was more. And I clicked on this guy's YouTube videos, and all of a sudden he opened my mind up to how much more there really is with the dulcimer. And I'm still studying everything that he puts out there. And fortunately for all of us, he is going to be teaching at the Quarantine Dulcimer Festival 4.0 on June 3rd through 6th. He's going to be teaching some workshops, so you can tag along and find out what great teacher is. Now you're going to be able to find out what a great performer he is. So please welcome and clap loud. This one, you've got to go to the other side of the house and face south. He's down in Florida, and just clap, probably a little louder than Michigan. Anyways, this is Bing Futhch. Please welcome him to our little virtual stage. Yay. And Gretchen and I are going to sneak away.
Yep.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you very much. And thanks to Gretchen. What a great opening and what a great set. I'm so thirsty now to hear an entire full set from you. That was really, really beautiful stuff. Thank you for that. And hello, everybody. I want to start off with an old tune. This goes back to probably 1999 with the old man I had called Mojave. This is called Come On With Me. And won my freedom. You can keep your accolades, I don't need them. No shackles binding, tie me down. What goes around sure comes around. Argentina, there's no beer left in this cantina. Desert dust done left me dry. Come on, baby, it's time to fly. We're still young, and we got all the time in the world. We're still young, and we got all the time in the world. Come on with me, come on with me, come on by my side. Come on with me, come on with me, come on, take this ride. I've waited all this time to leave. I'm just asking you to believe. These southern nights, they make me sad. I wanna see them LA lights so bad. By the gold reflection in your eyes, by the company of fireflies. We're still young, and we've got all the time in the world. We're still young, and we got all the time in the world now. You're lovely, lovely, this much is true. I will take good care of you. Don't need the man who made you cry. Come on, baby, it's time to fly. Well, we're still young, and we got all the time in the world. We're still young, and we got all the time in the world now. Come on with me, come on with me, come on by my side. Come on with me, come on with me, come on, take this ride. I've waited all this time to leave. I'm just asking you to believe in me. Ha! Baby, let me see you smile. We crossed the state line in one more mile. Sherman Set the Wayback Machine for 1999. That's Come On With Me. That was off of Mojave's first album called Spider Rock, The Full Sail Sessions. So this mountain dulcimer thing has been a blessing. It's been a wonderful thing. And I'll tell you some more about the instrument if you're not really familiar with it. The one on my lap is not really a standard dulcimer. It's got 2 fretboards. It's my Jimmy Page dulcimer. But I've got 2 different tunings here because the mountain dulcimer is not a fully chromatic instrument like guitars or banjos or things like that. So in order to get into different tunings and different keys, sometimes I've got to have different tunings. And so we came up with this double dulcimer from Folkcraft Instruments. I've got CGG tuning on the far side where I was just playing. And then on the close side here, I've got DAD, which is a more standard dulcimer tuning. And I'm going to capo over here and play an old tune called Cluck Old Hen. But this is a tune that is actually, I'm going to mess with it a little bit. Cluck Old Hen started off as a walking tune from Senegal. And it found its way up into the Appalachian Mountains, which is a wonderful thing. I think this folk music journey is incredible to see where tunes have come from and where they're going. So it started off as a Senegalese walking tune, and it ended up being one of the great old-time classics, Cluck Old Hen. But I'm going to mess with it and take it out of the Appalachian Mountains and put it in a juke joint in 1930s Georgia. And this is the result. This is called Juke Joint Hen. My old hen, she's a good old hen. She lays eggs for the railroad men. Sometimes 8, sometimes 10. Always enough for the railroad men. Cluck, old hen, cluck and sing. You ain't laid an egg since late last spring. Cluck, old hen, cluck and call. You ain't laid an egg since late last fall. Getting after it, getting after it. That is Duke Joined In. That's off my album Unresolved Blues, which is an all blues record, and I'll be playing some more from that a little bit later on. First, I want to introduce you to this instrument if you are not familiar with it. The Appalachian Mountain Dulcimer has been around not a whole long time, maybe about 200 years, 250 years. And it's got cousins in Europe like the Swedish Hummel, the Norwegian Langalike, the Hungarian Citra. These are all forebears of the instrument. And these folks who immigrated to the North American continent, they couldn't always bring their instruments with them. So they either made them based on their memory, or they got broken in transit. So they had to make these instruments from their memories. And that's how we ended up with Mountain Dulcimer there up in the Appalachian Mountain Range, the Blue Ridge, and the Ozark Mountains. It's got 3 strings and a diatonic scale. As I was mentioning earlier, it's not fully chromatic. It doesn't have all the notes. It was meant to play in certain keys and was meant to play a basic do, re, mi scale. Back in the day, they didn't even play chords. They played melody only. And then they used the other 2 strings as a drone to back things up. Like kind of a bagpipe with strings, if you will. And traditionally, they would play with a quill and a noter. Now they would take all the feathers off of the quill, and I've got one prepared here just like this. And this is what they would use to strum with. And then they would use a piece of wood called a noter and place that down on the string, and then they'd be able to play their tunes. This is an example of something you would have heard up in the Appalachian Mountains playing old style mountain dulcimer. Isn't that fun? That's so fun. Because you can't always go down to Guitar Center and buy a pick, So you use whatever you can get your hands on. Down the road, people began to play with a pick, and they began using their fingers and playing things that are a little bit more advanced and playing some harmonies and some chords and things like that. And to give an example of what that began to sound like, as we moved into playing what's called a chord melody style, and then doing some flat picking, because these mountain dulcimers were hanging out with all these mandolin players and these guitar pickers, and some of their behaviors and their habits crept over into the mountain dulcimer world. So I'm going to play an old chestnut here called the Wildwood Flower. I'm going to play it very simply at first, and then I'm going to start kind of changing my playing style as mountain dulcimer players change their styles over the years. wildwood flower. I just love this instrument so much. It's a lot of fun. And a lot of people, it's really funny when I play out. It's been a long time, as Gretchen was talking about, and Charlie, since we've been able to play out in person for you folks. But it's always fun to be playing somewhere and people hear the music, but they don't see the instrument. And then they walk around the corner and they're like, wait, whoa, what is that? It's got 3 strings? What's the deal with the fret spacing? It's all kind of weird. And then the range of music that you can play using 3 strings and a reduced scale is amazing. And to give you an example, I'm going to play some Irish music for you now. This is a piece by the 16th century composer Turlough O'Carolan, who was blind, and he traveled from city to city or town to town on a horseback. And he would write songs for people, hoping that they would give him a little compensation for it. He was one of the earlier buskers, out there in the world. And so he was trying to emulate the sound of some of the music, the classical music coming out of Europe at the time. Very prolific songwriter, and this is probably one of his greatest hits. This is called Planxty Fanny Power. So relaxing. It's like musical Calgon, isn't it? It's just fun all around. My goodness, I wasn't sure what to play tonight because it's been so long, right? My last in-person gig was St. Patty's Day last year. I'm gonna do some more blues here for you. My lovely wife Jay knows I'm ADHD riddled. People say, "What kind of music do you play?" And I say, it's a big umbrella, folk and Americana. All different types of stuff. I don't stick with any one type of music really. And as Bill Schilling was talking about today in his email, I was in a rock band for many years with the Mountain Dulcimer. And at some point my wife said, you should enter this local blues challenge so that you can compete and go to the International Blues Challenge in Memphis, Tennessee. This is the world's largest gathering of blues players. They all win a local competition and then earn the right to go to compete against the best of the best. And I thought, yeah, maybe I won't be doing that. She kept on me for years. And finally, I relented and said, okay, I'll compete. I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. But this is one of the tunes I competed with. This is an original song. This is called The Flip Side, because every blues person's got to have a song about the devil. I've been running with the devil, wore my shoes through to my feet. I've been running with the devil, wore my shoes through to my feet. And I told him to carry on without me, gotta take a break from this heat. Yeah, misery loves company, and I just wanna be alone. Yeah, misery loves company, and I just wanna be alone. You better go ahead, old devil. Looks like you're on your own. Go on, get out of here, man. Well, I've been running with the devil, but I ain't gonna run no more. I've been running with the devil, baby, and I ain't never gonna run no more. Then a scratchy voice inside me say, you don't know that for sure. Well, I got a mojo in my pocket, and I got a cross inside my case. Well, I got a mojo in my pocket, baby, and I got a cross inside my case. And I'll use them on that rascal if he show his ugly face. He caught up with me, but I would not let him pass. You know that mean devil, he caught up with me, but I would not let him pass. I said, the Lord give me permission to lay my shoe upside y'all. Talking about me and the devil doesn't win though in that story, and that's the way I like that to work. So yeah, I competed in the Central Florida Blues Challenge, and there's two different categories at the local challenges and then also at the up in Memphis. It's solo, duo, and then full band. So I figured I'll enter the solo duo and have a fighting chance. I get there and there are no solo duo performers, just me and 9 bands. So I said, okay, this is just going to be fun. People will be able to see them out in Dulcimer, and great. Well, it turns out there was one band out of 9 that beat me, and they got first place. And I actually got second place. They were like, well, that's kind of cool. So I'll tell you what, we can send one from each category. We'll send the band, and we'll send you as a solo performer. So I went to Memphis in 2015 and competed in the quarterfinals, 2 nights of quarterfinals, and then made it to the semifinals, and then didn't go any further than that. It was such an amazing experience being on Bill Street and hearing all this blues music and all these fabulous performers that I actually went back to the Central Florida Blues Challenge the next year and competed again. This time there were some solo duo people, and I won first place. Went back to Memphis in 2016 for the IBC, did the quarterfinals, made the semifinals, advanced to the finals. Out of 250 acts, I was one of 16 finalists, and I was named Best Guitar at the International Blues Challenge, despite that I was playing a mountain dulcimer. And a lot of people that year, I think, came to look at this instrument a little bit differently. And I did all old school, original and old school blues. And one of the things I brought with me was this resonator made for me by Folknet Instruments. I've been an endorsing artist with them since 2008, been playing their instruments since 1994 when I used to work for them at Walt Disney World. And I commissioned this resonator to perform up at the Blues Challenge. It's got 4 strings, D, A, D, F sharp. So it's an open D tuning. And I'm going to play for you an original tune that's fairly new. And this is sort of that old school, almost like a Piedmont blues kind of a feel, with a little bit of slide action. This is called Sad Blues. Well, sad blues for you there on the Resonator Mountain Dulcimer from Fullcraft Instruments. While I'm taking you on a tour of some different types of tones and sounds and so forth like that, I figure I'll break out the baritone dulcimer here. Listen to that. That is musical butter, my friends. That is musical butter spread on a beautiful English muffin. Wheat, of course, because it's a walnut, right? I love this sound range. This is tuned to AEA. It's right where my chest voice is. It's a lovely thing. I'll play a couple of tunes here. It's just nice to sometimes get away from the really intense stringing of the standard dulcimer. And I'm going to play you a Welsh tune called the Sans Day Carol. It's also known as the Saint Day Carol. And as many songs in folk music, it serves a dual purpose as another type of tune, a Christmas carol. And you probably know it as a tune called The Holly Bears a Berry. This is the Sans Day Carol from Wales. I think I'll finger pick this. If you're not familiar with that tune, isn't that sweet? That's such a neat song. That is on my album, A Christmas Each Day. Still the only Christmas album I have officially released to the public, and it's time for another one. That was 2008. I want to do that. What is that song? All I Want for Christmas Is You. I want to cover that one on the next record. I'll do another one here on the baritone dulcimer. This one with a bit more get up and go. This is a song that I learned from Bruce Ford, who was the former guy who ran everythingdulcimer.com online. And it's a Cajun tune. This is, it's called Mes Parents, which means my parents in Cajun French. And it sounds an awful lot like an old Cajun tune called Don't Bury Me. And I had the wonderful pleasure of performing this on Gina Forsythe's Americana record, Red Rooster. And so she sang Don't Bury Me in Cajun French. And I got a chance to play along with her, cracking that fiddle, and a great group of guys playing behind her as well. So Gina, if you're out there somewhere, miss you, love you, babe. Hope you're doing well. This is Mes Parents. And it goes something like this. Oh my goodness. I just want to go dance at Tippy Tina's now. I don't know if anybody's ever been out there to New Orleans. But if you go, you got to go to Tippy Tina's on the night that they have the Cajun dancing. They all come out to local clubs, and it's just mesmerizing to watch. And Gina was sitting in with somebody, I forgot who it was now. And it was just like traveling into another world. Just an amazing time all the way around. Well, I want to thank Charlie for having me here and Folknet for putting this whole concert series together. I want to thank Bill Schilling, my friend for many years now, for getting me in on this. Thank you, Bill. And I know a lot of us have had our lives turned upside down by the whole pandemic over the past year. And yeah, it was very disheartening to lose all my gigs for the remainder of 2020, as if 2020 wasn't already like a crap year, right? And that was disappointing, but the one thing that was, the silver lining out of this whole thing was that all of a sudden there was a lot of time. And that time is that commodity that we chase after. We store it away, we steal it, we borrow it, and all of a sudden I had all kinds of time to be here at home, to study, and to write and do all kinds of stuff. And again, I have ADHD. It takes me forever to do anything. So I actually recorded a new album last year, and it's called The Beauty and the Terror. And this is, I think, the centerpiece song of the album. The whole album deals with the duality of self, the duality of society, and how there's always a flip side, basically. And so many things happened last year besides the pandemic, contentious elections and Black Lives Matter protests and so much going on, where I was just daily inundated, as we all were, by scenes of despair and anger and helplessness and all this stuff. And here we are in 2021, and it's not letting up, is it? There's still all kinds of craziness going on there, and I love how Gretchen spoke to that in one of her songs about can't we all just be kind to each other, please? So this is a song that pretty much wraps up the whole album in a nugget, and it's another blues song. It's a minor blues. This is called The Question. What are we doing? Where do we go from here? What are we doing? Where do we go from here? I believe there's an answer, but the question isn't clear. Love one another, is that so hard to do? Love one another, is that so hard to do? So easy to say, so hard to follow through. Your whole life searching, never know what to expect. Keep dreaming about freedom with that knee upon your neck. Oh, what are we doing? Where do we go from here? I believe there's an answer, but the question isn't clear. with a vision, see the light before the dawn. Wake with a vision, see the light before the dawn. Can we step out of this darkness? For the road is much too long. There's people in the big cities, there's people in the small town. There's people in the big cities, there's people in the small town. Some will love and respect you, while others try to shoot you down. The good and evil, the richest and the poor, the beauty and the terror, the sickness and the cure. Oh, what are we doing? Where do we go from here? I believe there's an answer, but the question isn't clear. What are we doing? Where do we go from here? What are we doing? Where do we go from here? I believe there's an answer, but the question isn't That's from my new album, The Beauty and the Terror. That is the question indeed, isn't it, going forward? I have hope, I do have hope that it'll all work out as it should. And I hope that you all hold out hope as well. Stay positive. Look on the sunny side, always on the sunny side, I got a couple more little tunes here for you, and then we're going to wrap this thing up real quick. Let me play some more Mountain Dulcimer music for you. In fact, let me just do this. I just noticed that we're right there at that point. So, yeah, let me go ahead and I'm gonna end this with a trio of tunes in the key of A. I'll get out my capo again. When I first started playing Mountain Dulcimer back in, we used a pencil and a rubber band for a capo. I'm going to put this at the 4th fret, put me in the key of A. I want to thank Charlie again and Folknet. I want to thank Bill Schilling for his advocacy. I want to thank Gretchen Pleuss for an amazing opening set. And I hope that I get to see you in person and see a longer set as well, Gretchen. Thank you very much for your beautiful music and spirit. Really, really much appreciated. And to all of you out there, thank you so much. You can find me at bingfuthch.com. The new album is there, videos are there, and you can also search for me on YouTube, and I've got a channel there featuring a lot of videos of mountain dulcimers and roller coasters and deep fried food, because that's how I roll. Thanks again for coming out tonight, everybody, and for those of you watching the replay, why weren't you here? We missed you. Going to go out with a trilogy of A tunes. This first tune is it's called Texas. It was written in Newcastle, West Virginia by the late fiddler Henry Reed. It's a crooked tune, so it's going to sound a little weird to you. Then I'm going to go into a tune called Sandy Boys and then wrap things up with a French-Canadian reel called Hangman's Reel. Again, thank you everybody so much. This was an amazing time to share the music with y'all. And I hope going forward that music continues to bring a smile to your face and a place of sanctuary for when your heart is heavy. Hang on a second. There's one adjustment I want to make here. This dulcimer is a little well-traveled, and the capo placement can be tricky. And as you can tell, I'm having to sort of nurse it. I want this to sound as good as possible for you. I might actually grab a different dulcimer. In fact, I am going to grab a different dulcimer, because this one right here is older than Methuselah. So I'm just going to step over and grab this, and it's probably a good thing because now you can see what a dulcimer is supposed to look like. They actually just have one fretboard. This is also a Folkcraft Instruments mountain dulcimer, and it's in tune, as all of your backups should be, and it likes the capo a lot more. Yes! Crisp and clean, no caffeine. Here we go. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. What a great, great, fun evening. Thanks for being a part of it.
I'm coming back. Oh, Gretchen's not here. We can't bring her back. She is just watching online. Hey, that's Bing Futhch. Thank you, Bing. Everybody's clapping loudly, I'm sure. If you open your window to the north, you'll hear them. By the way, my friend Gina Forsythe sends her love back. She says
Hi,
that's so awesome.
Gina.
Hey, I got a quick question. While we're together here, I noticed dolphins on a few of your instruments. Do you have access to dolphins where you live on a regular basis?
Yeah, because my wife and I are annual pass holders to SeaWorld, and
Oh,
and we go all the time and see them there. But of course, it's not the same as seeing them out in the wild. And every once in a while, when we get out there on a boat somewhere, we get to see these guys in the wild. So they're my favorite animal, and they're smart. They're they're fun. They're very social, but don't mess with them. Sharks know not to mess with dolphins because they'll get beaten up. So it's good. We could all be like dolphins.
speaking of if we could all be like dolphins, it's a good call. I'm looking forward to. Speaking of the songs that you've written most recently, specifically the one that you played. What was it? Where do we go from here? Is that
The
the name of
question.
it? But I'm looking forward to the live music festivals when we can all be together, and there will be so much impassioned music from a real time of pain and confusion and struggle,
Absolutely.
and and the musicians have experienced this as much as anybody, and we've lost some of our best, and we've all struggled through this time. So thank you for being part of keeping that message positive and alive for us all.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
Bing,
having
for
me tonight, Charlie.
thank you for joining us. It was a wonderful concert. Your instruments sound so beautiful. They make me feel like I'm at home, which is ironically where we all are.
Right? Well,
um,
Fullcraft Instruments has been very, very awesome to me over the years. They're at fullcraft.com, and they make the best dulcimers in the world and have been doing it for a number of years.
I'll try to find the link to that and throw that in our chat. Anyway, let me give everybody a little rundown of what's going on next month. And we've got Tom Castle next month. He specializes in nautical music. Where he and I are going to chat tomorrow and find some cool things that he plans to do. But that'll be next month, June 12th, and the concert again starts at 7:15. Opening for Tom will be Sam Hooper, who is a Cleveland-based blues guitarist, and we are looking forward to that. Sam's a great guy, and he worked with me. We didn't actually work together because, of course, we're all at home, but he worked within the same program with Roots of American Music, writing songs with kids in the Stop the Hate program, where we've been addressing a lot of the issues we've been facing all the past year, well, the past few centuries, honestly. Um, anyway, so that's next month, Sam Hooper and Tom Castle. Folknet is supported in part, this concert series is supported in part by the Cuyahoga Arts and Culture. And we thank them for their support. Please do support them as well, and support all of the other organizations that are presenting music and the arts throughout our area in being supported by Cuyahoga Arts and Culture. I'm trying to think of anything else I need to say. Yes. If you want to help to support Folknet, become a member. It's very easy. You go over to our membership page and you just click the link, and the instructions should be fairly easy. I know I was able to figure it out, and I don't follow instructions well, so I'm sure you guys can too. I've got nothing else. So thank you very much for joining us this evening. Thank you, Gretchen Pleuss, and thank you, Bing Futhch, for joining us and sharing your wonderful music. It's been a great night, and thank you all for being a part of this whole world of folk music. And hey, stay healthy. If you got to stay home, get vaccinated, do whatever you need to do. Let's get back to live music as soon as we possibly can. And that's up to all of us to work together to get to that point. So thank you very much, and adios.